spent quite a few months on it, and we were in the middle of nowhere, away from family, label, management. And literally, it was 30 minutes driving on a single track to get to the nearest village. So we were totally remote, and the studio is just—it's hard to describe it. It's not a studio. We made it into a studio just for that record, and the building had so it was on the coast, and we were looking out onto islands, all the Scottish Highlands, and so it's just mountains wherever we looked, just mountains everywhere, and just us with a load of gear in our room, and yeah, we got left alone to do it, and it's the best kind of freedom to do a record. You work with a producer, you have to go to a studio. Like on the previous record, we went to Nashville, and you're there for a specific amount of time, and the clock's ticking. You got to do it. Whereas in Scotland, it was, we were all set up, and I had my studio set up, and it was just I was getting bits in from everyone and building these tracks. And we could do anything we wanted. It was great. You can't but help notice the mood outside. And one whole wall of this place was glass, so we were constantly looking at mountains and weather, rolling in off the sea, stormy weather rolling in off the sea, and then it'll be snowing 1 minute, it'll be sunny 2 minutes later, it'll be torrential rain an hour later, and you've got no phone signal, the internet's really slow, so there's no distractions, so all you can do is focus on the music. And then things start to get quite deep and dark quite quickly, and there's nowhere to go. There's no get out. You're all stuck in a room together. We're living there, and we're working here, and there's nothing, no television, no nothing. After a while, it just became part of your routine, and you just did it. And it's funny, and also quite scary at the same time. And once a week we'd drive to the pub in the nearest town, and I'd drive, and everyone would jump in my car, and we'd drive to the pub and have a night out in a really quiet pub. There was 4 people in it, us, and it was great. It was just a really good experience. You have to change experiences when you make records, because if you do the same thing every time, editors never make the same record anytime anyway, so it's just another way of changing it up, keeping it going, keeping yourself learning and trying new things. Because if you go to the same place or the same people, you get the same record. So you have to push yourself into these strange places, I have 3 children, and it's incredibly hard, but my children have always known me to be a musician who tours. So for them it's really easy because they're used to it. They grew up, they were born into it. They were born into me, but nowadays we've got FaceTime, so I can see them every day anyway. And my eldest 2 are at school, so they're busy, and the baby's just a baby, so she doesn't know yet. But it is hard. It does. I try, and it sounds really hard. I try not to think about it, because if you start thinking about it, especially if you're in the middle of a long tour, then these little things start in your brain. You're like, oh fuck, and you get quite down about it. But hey, that's what I do for a living. Can't help it.
MUZO FM. Słuchaj nas. Bydgoszcz, Gdańsk, Kielce, Kraków, Łódź, Olsztyn, Poznań, Wrocław, Warszawa. Kręcą nas dobre kawałki. MUZO FM.